Hey guys, so today I want to share some of my predictions for the summer 2021 sets or the August ones, and maybe we'll get into some September ones too. But this is just my prediction, so none of these are rumoured, but just based on ideas and theories and stuff about what these could be. So price wise I'll be using US because that's what most people use. But without further ado, let's get into the first set. So first up, I think we'll get a Rebel Scout Speeder. This will be a $30 set and have 4 Rebel Fleet Troopers and 2 Stormtroopers, like the 501st Battle Pack, except it would be an original Trilogy set with Rebels, and I think that would be actually quite cool and also be quite sought after because of the amount of Rebel Troopers and Stormtroopers it would be, and it would be a really nice battle pack. Because this would be the only battle pack we'd get in 2021, I think it would make a lot of sense to have this. Next I have a Snowspeeder, partly because LEGO makes these heaps, but actually because we haven't had one since the 20th anniversary one in 2019, which was $40, and I think this one would be $30 just to lower that price point. Plus they retired the 20th anniversary one before the AT-AT, which is weird, because it would just make sense to have a Snowspeeder out with an AT-AT, which came out last summer, so I think that they'll just make a Snowspeeder to go along with the AT-AT. I don't know if it would include a Luke, because then you'd have a duplicate figure, but if they were designed to go together, I think they'd just include, either it would just be the Luke and Dak, or it would be, like, just Wedge and whoever his co-pilot is, I can't remember. But yeah, I think that would be quite cool, and for Wedge I'd also want them to add a new headpiece for him, like a unique one, because of he's like, I guess, a main character, I'd say, whereas he just uses the normal Rebel pilot helmet, headpiece I mean, and I think he'd need some black eyebrows at least, just to humanize Wedge a bit more in LEGO form. So I don't know, if they included Wedge, I just want them to do that, and I've just sort of wanted them to do that for a while now. So I have a set from the Mandalorian Season 2, and concerning these, I think that we'll only get them from the first couple of episodes or the trailers, and just no real spoiler things from the finale, because it takes like 12 months or so to make a LEGO set usually. So LEGO would have to give them something to make it if that wouldn't spoil it. So I don't think we'll get any sets from like Chapter 13, maybe Chapter 16, like maybe the Transporter, but I think it'll be from Chapter 4, considering it also included, not Chapter 4, I mean, Chapter 12, because that appeared in the trailer, and I think it will be the ITT. This will be a $40 set, and it would come with a speeder as well as that, a little speeder bike for the Scout Trooper, and I guess it would have Cara Dune, Grief Karga in the Season 2 design, and Mithril, so I think that would be quite a cool set to have at $40. Minifigure selection wise, I would prefer to just have Stormtroopers, but we already have a sort of Stormtrooper battle pack in this way, if you have the Rebel Scout Speeder, so it would just make a lot of sense to have that, I think, and it would be a nice Season 2 set to have in there and have some nice minifigures. Next, for about $80, I'd say that we'd get a TIE Interceptor or a TIE Bomber, and this would possibly be in the new, like, affordable scale they're doing for 2021, but really I just want it to be the Major Von Rigs TIE, just in different colours and some different minifigures, so just some nice third minifigure, like a named character, potentially like a Moff Jerjerrod or something. It would obviously be based off Return of the Jedi, so I don't know who you'd have in there, but just have some nice figure, some exclusive one for the TIE Interceptor, which would still be a pretty cool set, not gonna lie. Up next I have the Batch Shuttle, and I think this makes a lot of sense, and I'd be surprised if this didn't happen, because of the Bad Batch TV show coming in early 2021, potentially like spring. It would make sense to have a set from this, plus it did appear in Season 7, so they'd probably be planning this already, and then Bad Batch is revealed, so they just decide to add that in. It is in the Bad Batch, it's shown in the trailers, and you just need 5 figures, which would be the main members of the Bad Batch, including Echo. Up next I have an ATT for about like $90 maybe. This would make sense as a Season 7 set, just includes some minifigures like, just lots of clones, I guess. That would be the dream, but I think we'd also see like a Jesse or a Rex or something in there, just to add up that value, plus we'll never get an ADT with just clones. I mean, it would be cool to get some Mandalorian Super Commandos or just some droids, but it could also be modelled off the Bad Batch, because that does appear in the trailer, but I don't really know. I think it's more likely to be based off Season 7, which would make a lot of sense just to add that in there. Next goes along with the ADT is the Republic Gunship, and I think this could happen, but the reason I'm doubting it is because we're getting a UCS one, probably in May. So if it wasn't that, I'd say just some other set, potentially a 501st Y-Wing, though that would be like an $80 set, but I'd say something around the $100 mark, potentially original trilogy or sequel trilogy, but I think a Republic Gunship would really be good, and we haven't had one since like 2013, so it would be really cool to get one, and I think there would be some nice fan service on LEGO's part. I think everyone would really enjoy that set, and it would sell tremendously well. Minifigure wise, it would just have to have Ahsoka, maybe Bo-Katan, Rex, and then just some more clones, I guess. Maybe a Gar Saxon, but just some really nice figures in there, and I think that would sell really well. Next one, I was thinking some kind of Star Destroyer. People have been saying Moff Gideon's one, but I was sort of thinking Imperial because we haven't had an ADT. We just had an AT-AT before, and last time those were released together. But I think it'll be a Vinnetta. I mean, like, that would be a Clone Wars Season 7 one. Fans would love that. Haven't had one since 2009. So by 2021 it would have been 12 years, and I think they just need to make it more accurately proportioned, and that would be a really cool set, I think. So I would love that set, and I think there'll be the big set of the wave for like $160 or something, and I think minifigure wise just have Jessie, Ahsoka, Rex, Maul, and just some other clones and stuff from that. The final 2 episodes of Clone Wars Season 7, I think that would be an amazing set. Next would be another Mando set from earlier on the season, the Gazanti class freighter, and I think this would also have Bo-Katan. Like, I really think we'll get a Bo-Katan in some form this summer wave, because it'll be either Clone Wars Season 7 or Mandalorian, which is like the same kind of Bo-Katan armor, so I really think we will get one in some shape or form. And this would be a really nice set. I know that the previous one got a lot of hate, but I personally like it, and I think it's just because of the TIE Fighters. This one wouldn't have the TIE Fighters, and just have some nice figures. I guess you could also put Frog Lady in there if you really wanted, but just some nice Mandalorian set. They would also be quite cool on display, and maybe they could lift up the price, make it a bit bigger, more interior space, and I think lots of people would love that. This is like the October buildable thing, and I think it'll be a Gonk Droid, just because what else would we get? Like, the smaller character that we could get is a Babu Frick, but we wouldn't get that unless we previously had a Babu Frick minifigure, so I really think that they'll go out with a Gonk Droid. I think lots of people would love that. I don't know how they do the minifigure, because right now the Gonk Droids aren't that good. I think the best one was from 2014, but these Gonk Droids, I mean, they're fine, and you could put it on display, it would look great, be a funny meme set, I guess, that I think a lot of people would actually buy, AFOLs especially. So yeah, I think that would be a set for potentially $80, maybe $100, but I think $80 would suit more, have like 1,000 pieces maybe, and just be a really cool display set, I guess. Next I want to finish this on the UCS set, which I think will be a Death Star. I think a lot of people have been suspecting that. UCS or MBS, and it could just be a remake, but I think it will be panelled as well, and unless the Gunship doesn't come out in May and comes out here, I think this is the only one that we sort of had slight rumours for, or a slight theory to. Other than that, I don't know really what it would be, and yeah, I think Death Star makes the most sense, so I really think that that'll be the second half year UCS set. But yeah, those were my predictions, my first early predictions. So I think this would be a really nice wave, and I think lots of people would love it. Has some nice sets in there. I think that these sets would sell really well, and people would start loving LEGO Star Wars again, which would be great. However, yeah, those were just my predictions. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to like and subscribe. That'll be all, folks. Goodbye.